You are listening to the Kinky Coach podcast with Stephanie
and Fox.
Hey, Fox.
Yeah?
You've been a bad, bad boy.
Naughty boy. Naughty boys should be punished.
This show contains explicit content
And is intended for mature audiences only.
This is what happens when an innocent, successful mental health professional
Falls for a rugged, prior deployed bad boy. You get one hell of a ride. So we have a beautiful couple that we're going to be talking to tonight.
I feel like, now I agree, they're very attractive, but I feel like you think everyone is beautiful and you're a little becoming a little slutty, baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
it was a compliment.
They are very, very yummy. Yeah, and I need to find out her photographer because oh my god, her pictures on Twitter are just hot.
Yeah, I think it's her husband.
Really?
I think so. I think, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
why don't you take pictures like that of me?
What? Wow. I'm not that talented. I am not a talented photographer. I don't pretend to be.
Well, let's bring him on and let's see if he is the photographer.
Okay. So we have our friends Andi and Dave. They live in Tennessee. They own Double Date Nation, not to be confused with being what? Advocates of Double Date Nation or paid affiliates.
They own it.
They own it. Okay. And so we got to meet Dave and Andi. How long has it been now?
About 6 months ago.
No, has it been that long?
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe 3?
I think 3 or 4 months ago. So we took a trip to Tennessee. We did some skydiving. We did some sightseeing, and luckily we got to meet up with them.
It was a lot of fun.
And since then, we've been chatting, and they are fellow influencers and own DoubleDateNation.com. So, Andi and Dave, why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you?
Oh, we're here.
We usually turn. Okay.
You snuck in there like that.
Well, I'm Dave.
And I'm Andi.
And we are the creators of Double Date Nation. We also have a YouTube channel that's just us being stupid, which is the Celibate Swingers.
Yeah.
Which I believe is what kind of gets us in the terminology of influencer.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
feel weird having that title.
I'm sorry if that influences anybody.
Yeah, I know, really.
Yeah. But no, you are my photographer, to answer your question.
That is true. Now, She does do a lot of self-photography, which I admire those work, but when she allows me to take pictures, I take probably about 2,000 of them, and maybe only 50 make a cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just fun getting to take and have her dress sexy for our photo shoots.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, so there was one where you had the little leg warmers and the little... So I bought the leg warmers, and I'm going to try that.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yep, they came in. He was like, what is this? I'm like, that's for my photo shoot because Andi had them.
Yeah.
Oh, because...
Perfect. So, see, I'm a leg warmer influencer.
You are so influencing me.
Knew it.
So, I also found that instead of trying to take pictures, if you just hit record on the video and start to move and do a bunch of movements and then pause each one, you can find really good still shots and just screenshot them.
See, in my opinion, if I did that to myself, I would end up finding my face in the ugliest form imaginable.
Okay.
Like just making a fugly face,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do that a lot. just to throw him off. He's like, let me take a picture and or something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we had a business meeting before this, and now we're recording, and we've been talking a lot about what's going to happen with the Kinky Coach, what's happening with Double Date Nation. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, what's going on with you guys and what everyone can expect from you.
So we have been working very, very hard on a kind of a down low project, which is going to be coming out very soon. We can feel it breathing on the back of our necks. So we're very excited about that. So that's going to be, lifestyle altering. That's what we think anyway. It's pretty exciting. day and night work, a lot of love put into it, so it's going to be pretty big.
And
so.
we've been growing faster than we anticipated, especially during the pandemic, because people aren't really going out, so they're going to the sites, they're interacting, and it's just been amazing seeing the engagement of people on the sites during the pandemic.
Yeah, we've gotten thousands of new members since the spring, so it's been
fun. Great.
And obviously COVID hasn't hit you too hard because we've been looking at your pictures, right? And you guys are looking absolutely fabulous.
What happened? How did y'all skip the COVID wait?
It's lighting, sweetie.
It's all about the lighting.
Wow. And then she's baking bread, buns in the oven, and her little naughty red cookie things, and I'm sitting here.
So that got me. That honestly got me. I saw that and I'm like, no, she's pregnant? And then I had to read further and I'm like, son of a gun.
It got me.
Yeah, we had a little joke.
So that was good. No,
definitely no buns in any ovens.
No.
Anywhere around here.
Yeah.
We've been duly named Dinks, dual income, no kids.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I like that.
You like that?
I do.
You write that down?
No, because that's not us.
So, no, we have two kiddo. Well, I guess one's an adult.
One's an adult.
About to go off to the military, actually.
Yeah.
So about 3 days ago, my son comes to me and he goes, hey, Dad, we got to talk. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, let's go out to eat and talk. Now, my son's he's a talker. So this is kind of our dynamic. The daughter talks to me. The son talks to her.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. So I was like, well, this has got to be important if he's telling me, hey, Dad, we got to talk. So we go and we sit down and he goes, hey, so I've decided that I'm missing out on something. I don't know what it is. I need to find myself as a man. And I'm going to finish up my last semester in college and then I'm joining the military, which was kind of already the plan. But the plan was for him to get dual degreed and go in as an officer. And then he tells me, that's not going to happen. I'm going enlisted like you. And I bit my tongue and I said, okay, I love you. And if you tell me you have to find yourself, I get that. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hurts.
It hurt the soul.
Yeah.
But I'm also super excited for him because I am excited for him to find out who he is and whatever he's looking for.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, right, there's a lot of people out there that think the term lifestyle just means swinger.
Yes.
Right? And I know we have a lot of newbies that come to us because they're looking for something also, right? They're happy in their relationship. They have great sex. It's constant. Most of our clients, their finances are intact, so they don't argue much, but they still come to us and they're like, we're missing something. We're looking for something and we don't know what that is. And then we mention the lifestyle, and the first thing that comes out of the mouth is, oh, well, we would never be swingers. That we wouldn't do that. And we have to recorrect them and go, well, hey, it's called lifestyle because it not only is a lifestyle, but there's many genres within that lifestyle. So, Dave and Annie, what do you guys, and I'm not big on classifying ourselves because I hate kind of how that has gone because it kind of traps us into this bubble. But the classification does help us, I guess, allow others to know what we're into. So how do you guys classify yourselves?
Well, we don't typically like to identify specifically as swingers. And the reason is for this is that in the beginning when we first got into the lifestyle, the word swinger, it was intimidating. You know, we were so vanilla that the super secret sex world was just going to be intimidating to us. And it wasn't at all. And because when we first got there, we realized that a lot of these people don't actually have sex, because there's a term that people don't really use much is social swinger. It's people that don't even have sex, but they love being in the sexual environment, which is why we started Double Date Nation and have a swing status of double date. The whole purpose of that is to allow couples to just say, hey, we don't want to have sex with you, but we would like to talk to other swingers and hear about sexy scenarios. And we felt like that would be a better segue into the lifestyle than what's being offered by other sites, which are a little more explicit and graphic right off the rip.
Right. No, that's a good point. Babe?
I do like that on Double Date Nation, in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, Double Date Nation has very classy photos. It's not. I don't think
it's not very raunchy.
It's not raunchy at all.
It's not raunchy at all.
And so, do you guys look at every picture and approve?
Every picture.
Well, and that's the interesting. So you say that you don't see that much. Now, every picture you see has been approved, and rarely do we unapprove images. Just very specific reasons we don't. We find that it just what they see when they come in, they end up uploading classier photos as what their forefront. Now they do have a lot of personal, sexy photos that they keep private. But it has been helping with the overall like brand as far as kind of keeping it inviting to all veterans and newbies alike.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think that'll ever potentially get rid of the possible of the unsolicited dick pics slipping through the cracks every now and then. But if you're listening and you're a single guy or not a single guy, don't dispose pictures of your dick. Thanks. That was just my small disclaimer.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask your permission, Andy, if I can use that. So I'm actually going to create a single male workshop for the lifestyle. And it's going to be a 3-day event that surrounds common respect, common sense, which isn't very common when it comes to single males and lifestyle, and how to navigate the lifestyle and how to be the perfect gentleman for either a single female that you're going to play with in lifestyle or a couple, and how you can be a gift to them instead of a douchebag, hands down.
Right. Well, and see, that's the interesting thing for single males is that they don't have to convince just the wife. They do have to convince the husband. So there has to be like that overall respect to both parties before you can move forward with anything. Right.
Yeah, and I know. Tell me if you guys get the same in return. Let's talk about the book face for a second, right? A lot of us are on the book face, both professionally and personally, and we get a lot of messages that a guy will wave and say hello. I do most of the responding because she's busy working, and I run the King Coach for the most part. And I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing? This is Fox," and I'll let them know right up front, like, "Hey, there's a dude behind this message." And like the last one I got was, "Well, I was curious about your wife," and I'm like, "Okay, well, what are you curious about?" No, not a problem. "Well, can I talk to her?" "No, she's busy right now." How can I help you? Oh, and then all of a sudden I get a dick pic, and underneath it's, "I was wondering if she can handle this." And that's exactly what I got. No BS.
I know.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
How does that work out for him? I just want to know.
Yeah, so he got pretty much an immediate response of, "Hey, shithead, that's my wife you're talking about. Show some damn class and respect. And now I've reported you to the admins in the groups that we are mutually part of. And have a nice day. Kiss my ass." It's pretty much how that went down.
Well, I think... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, and that's the thing. Guys just think that that's what women want. Right. And I think that's so ridiculous, especially like with Andy here, who's a sapiosexual.
Oh, me too.
Likes a man's intelligence and brains and can be able to carry on a conversation. It's not just a dick.
Right. I always say you can talk my panties right off. It's just either that or laugh them off. If you make me laugh, same thing. But if you're smart and can carry on an intellectual conversation, panty dropper right there. But I noticed none of that involved seeing a penis at any point in time until the end. Now that's yeah.
So you're saying I have a chance if I read a dictionary and a thesaurus before we talk?
No, you're funny. You're funny, so you have your funny moment. So I think I don't know. We'll work on it.
I think you're good. You're good.
I'm good. I got a chance. All right, that's all I want to know.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I'm really big on is I don't want my information and my pictures just blasted all over the internet. And so I know that I feel a little bit more secure with Double Date Nation because of their security protocols. And I would put more, let me rephrase that. I don't put anything, he does. The more risque pictures in our private folder on Double Date Nation because I'm not afraid of it being stolen or marketed.
Right. Well, so, yeah, actually DDN is the only site where we have a little bit more risque pictures on there of you. Yeah. The other ones are pretty standard. Yeah.
Well, and I still have to give that public service announcement. We can be as secure as possible, but I still think people should only share on the internet what they're comfortable with in the end. Because people have cell phones, they can take pictures of screens. All the security in the world can't protect you from that. Right. So just make sure that if you want to keep yourself secret, that when you do share private photos, that you've talked to the person long enough to know that they're authentic and real, and kind of build up that trust before opening face pictures if you are feeling like that would make you vulnerable.
Right.
Well, in our security protocols, I'll let you kind of take that because I always flub that all kinds of ways. What did they? Yeah.
Well, with our security, our system's actually secured to the point where we can't see messages within the system. Algorithm notes us of any if there's solicitation of sex and stuff like that. All messages, all images, everything we can do is encrypted in our database. So it's as secure as we can possibly make it, as near to bank grade security as possible.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's really important in this day and age because it used to be where someone that was good at hacking had to have a computer background and all this extensive knowledge and access to certain types of equipment, to where now you literally can go on Wikipedia and learn how to dox somebody through Wikipedia and be successful.
Hey Kinky Nation, do you need help with navigating the swinging lifestyle? Fox and I offer personalized coaching services designed specifically for your relationship needs.
Are you the person that all your friends turn to when they have questions about sex? You should check out the Kinky Coach Sex Coach Certification course and get paid for sex coaching instead of doing it for free. Just go to kinkycoach.com.
Lastly, if you feel that you are in need of therapeutic services for your relationship or individually, please visit Beautiful Beginnings with an S, LLC.org for more information on the counseling services I offer. Okay, Kinky Nation, let's get back to the show.
And for those that don't know what doxing is, it's basically wreaking holy hell and havoc on someone within the digital environment, whatever that means to you.
Okay, because I would not have known that.
So essentially, that's what happened to Ashley Madison a long time ago.
Well, and they were exposed.
They got exposed.
And that's when we first started in the lifestyle, that was our big concern.
We did not want to be another one of those.
Right. I had a position in my job where at the time, I'm not there anymore, but I didn't want that to come out. So that was scary to me to put those images out there. And now looking back, it kind of jars me a little bit to know we could have been so vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that was another preface by why we created DDN also.
So how did that process happen? Like, did you just wake up one day and we were like, okay, we're going to start this lifestyle website dating service conundrum?
It was a process. We, when we were kind of going through it, when we first got into it, there were not a lot of podcasts. There were not a lot of people to turn to or get advice from. So we were stumbling all over ourselves. So I was the one that manned the sites, so to speak, our profiles on these sites.
She set up the profiles.
I did, yeah. And so usually it's the guy, but it was me. And I just kept saying, these are so clunky and I don't like the way this is. There's got to be something better. And Dave, here being the techie guy, we just started saying, what if we made another option? Not necessarily something better, because some people are very happy where they're at, but another option that's very secure, that's more modern, and kind of grow with that. And also something that's not so aggressive, that maybe offers a no expectation route. Because we would go into some of our first dates and people were straight up like, we got a babysitter, we're down to fuck. And we were like panicked.
Obligated. You feel that obligation.
Yeah.
Because you've been, hey, I'm not even soft swap yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just like, there was no happy medium.
Yeah. So that was kind of where it came from.
Yeah, I know that primarily, so I do most of the talking because I do most of the vetting before we ever go meet somebody. And usually I will set the expectation that, hey, we normally don't play on the first date. That's really not our thing. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but that is a rarity. And let's just meet up to hang out and get a sense of each other. And please understand that most likely we're not taking our clothes off tonight. Like, that's maybe with each other when we get home, but most likely not with you. So talk to me about how has your vision of the lifestyle and experience, both vision and experience, changed since you guys became business owners within lifestyle and influencers compared to when you were just playing as a couple?
I would say it's interesting because we've had so many people reach out, and we've also seen the numbers kind of grow of new people joining in and, reaching out saying, we've never done this before. We're still in the talking phase. And it really just blows my mind how all of these influencers, podcasters, different points of view, different backgrounds, that are kind of putting out the word where people can easily get information about the lifestyle it's really amped up a lot of curiosity, and people have kind of stepped out of their box reaching out. I think it is going to be a huge, I don't know if a movement's the right word, but I think there's a lot of people that are just scared. And the more education, the more reach we can provide, the more that's going to grow. I have no doubt. There's a lot of freaky secret swingers out there. Yeah. We're going to find them. Pull them out of their shell.
Please.
Well,
and with regard, just one little thing I've seen, and I think the biggest thing for me in the lifestyle too is how a relationship with men can be built. Free the lifestyle, I'm not gonna lie, Craig, if I looked at you, you would have been intimidating, and I never would have talked to you.
Wait, what?
I know.
You're a big guy, okay? But I mean, in the lifestyle, I've learned that men, we don't really have a pissing contest.
Yeah.
It's like you're willing to share wives. Men are more on an even level. So I've learned that the relationships that I build with men are far greater than my regular vanilla friends that I would have local, just because there's not that competition.
That's actually a really good point. And just so you know, I'm really a teddy bear until I don't have to be.
Yeah, that's true.
I love everybody.
I just say you're sexy, and that's just where it stops. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's the only title you need.
That's the only title. I'm good. I'm set.
All right.
Well, I do agree with you. The quality of the friendships that we've made while in the lifestyle is they're substantial. And when we try to tell people that, and as we're walking newbies through just the beginning stages of what it's like to be in the lifestyle, and they're just starting to talk to people, because believe it or not, we do not allow our couples to go out and fuck for at least 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
we make sure that they're in this and understanding, but they come back and they're like, these are normal people. Like, they're really cool to talk to. And it's like, yeah, it's not like we're just some freaky
sexual heathen demons.
Well, I mean, we all are, but we all come from different backgrounds, and we're all in this for the same reason. And I feel like the quality of friendships and people are just top notch.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to jump back to something Andy said. You mentioned almost a sexual movement, and that couldn't be more than true. And I'm sure that, Hun, you can speak more to this than probably all of us with a lot of your experience with clients, but it seems that the new genre is more an open, fluid type of attitude of, I'm going to do whatever makes me feel good, because society is starting to bend that way and say, hey, just be who you are, and the hell with all the other judgment and nonsense.
Well, I'm going to throw our age out there. We are older millennials. We're more exennials. But we were raised by the...
Wait, I'm not a millennial at all.
You're an exennial.
Exennial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we were raised by the baby boomers, so to speak, in their sexual revolution. And if there's one thing that those parents got right, because that was the trophy generation and all of that, but one thing they did get right is allowing their kids to be sexually open and to talk about it more, and they passed on that to us. And so right now, those younger individuals, let me rephrase that, older millennials, kind of millennial-ish.
I was about to say, I never got any free trophies. It was earn it, and there was first place, and that was all that mattered.
Well, that's because you're an exennial. But
that's participation trophies.
Yeah. But that's one thing that the millennial parents got right is, I mean, of course, there's a lot of things, but raising their children to be sexually open is all I'm trying to say.
No, I gotcha. Not be so judgmental in the area of human sexuality.
They're very fluid.
Yeah, for sure. I almost sometimes feel they're so fluid, they get lost in it and they don't know where to go or what to do, so they do nothing.
Ooh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
what was it? Cheaters, swingers, or...
Yeah, we always said we heard that this weekend.
Yeah,
that you could be cheaters, swingers, or bored. And those are your options. And I was like, if you really kind of think about it, I guess if people are very, they kind of hold everything in, they may be more likely to have an affair or something, kind of sow their oats. And that's not always the case, but it definitely could be. But I mean, why would you cheat if you're open, like you said, fluid and open communication with each other? So there's not much point in that.
Okay.
So.
Right. So, have you guys seen a difference in your relationships since you became, website owners of DDN and influencers? Like, have you seen a fluctuation? Have people treated you differently? Or, that's really just my question. I don't even want to add to that.
Yeah.
They don't really treat us too differently. I think more than anything, they may prejudge you in determining what type of person you're going to be. Like, we're laid back, hang out with anybody, just love everyone. And I don't think people really know that until they start talking to us. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't be intimidated by us. Come talk to us. We love talking to people. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. So I would say some people also assume because we're going to be in an event or we're going to be sponsoring something and we're going to be in the same place they're going to be, they think that we may have sex with everybody in the building. And so that's just assumed. And that's a hard conversation to have, because it's like, well, we're going to be there and we want to get down. And it's like, well, can you imagine how busy we would be if that's really what happened in an event when it's actually a lot of work? I wish it could be like that. That would be a lot of fun. Simple. But that's not always the case. Or it's not ever the case. Actually. So.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of people understand, and you nail it around the head, how much work it actually is. You have to be the advocate, not only for the event, but the lifestyle and the venue that you're utilizing. At the same time, you have to meet everyone and greet everybody, and then you're making sure everything is functioning correctly so everyone has a great experience. By the time that event has been successful and you get a chance to lay your hat down, so to speak, you're exhausted. You are just physically and emotionally like, man, I know that when we host events, I'll flirt. I normally don't play at all because I'm too busy running around, making sure everything's working correctly. At the end of that night, I just want to cuddle up next to Stephanie and I'm done. I was like, I just want you, babe. Come and hold me. I don't care.
So that's a good point. Yeah. That's a common misconception that because we are influencers and we host events that we just fuck the entire night. What are some other misconceptions and myths that you guys feel are big in this world?
I think that, with regards to swingers in general, I feel like people perceive the term swingers as back in the 60s where people are having key parties and you're just randomly having sex with who happens to be at that hotel or something. And it's nothing like that. It's just a community of people who are willing to have the conversation and are able to have it to where they can say, hey, can I have sex with your wife? Or can you have sex with my wife? I just think more than anything, we're just open to talking about it. And I don't like the label that we're just sexual misfits. Yeah. Because I find that we're more than sexual misfits. We're more connected to ourselves emotionally and to our partners emotionally. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, and like you said too, earlier, this is all a lot of work. So people may kind of assume that this was just something we threw out there and there's nothing really behind the scenes and we just take fun pictures and we're always happy all the time. And, we're just like everybody else and we make bread recipes and, act silly and record silly YouTube videos and go to the grocery store and we gripe at each other and I tell him I tripped over your shoes again. So, there's not, of course, social media paints a different picture for everybody. And this is no different. We're just everyday Joes. So.
Yeah, I think our favorite pastime is cooking for each other and honestly putting something up on Netflix and cuddling on the couch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly, at the end of the day, that is our favorite, thing to do.
Right up our alley.
That sounds like us.
Yeah.
Because it's mentally exhausting, and for you guys working on the back end of all of the new things coming out with Double Date Nation and all of the hard work that goes into that, man, I mean, it's a full day's work, and then you're expected to go perform. I mean, it's almost like they want people, or we're expected, a misconception, we're expected to go perform.
Yeah, so I think the most recent oddest conversation I've had was at a recent meet and greet that we were sponsoring. And the comment came from the husband and basically said, "Man, you're not anything like I thought you would be." And of course I asked him, "Well, please explain to me what you thought I was like." And he pretty much told me flat out, I thought that pretty much any type of advocate, influencer, podcaster, whatever, website owner was stuffy, stuck up, and the only reason why they were at an event was to make sure it went the way they wanted to so they could make money.
Right.
He's like, "But you're sitting here talking to me about your dog and your kids and your motorcycle," and I'm like, "What else am I supposed to talk to you about? I didn't come here to talk about work."
Yeah.
Right.
I think your wife has a nice butt.
Yeah.
Is that okay for me to say?
She's got pretty titties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, funny thing that you said that. I was talking to in my doctorate program, I have to do supervision, and I was talking to my supervisor today, and he was asking me a little bit more about what we do, and I was telling him the kinky coach, and he was like, "Wait a minute." He goes, "You don't fit that description at all." He goes, "You're this sweet Southern lady." He goes, "I wouldn't think that you would be kinky." And he goes, "And I know I'm being very stereotypical, and I know that this is completely like just basing it." He goes, "But you don't fit the profile." And I was like, "Thank you," because I don't want to fit the profile. And that's the thing is, there is no set way to be or to look. Mm-hmm. We look just like everybody it can be else. Your teachers, your children's teachers. Actually, I had a funny story about that because we, not us personally, but one of my clients was telling me that she went to teachers or night, whatever, school PTA thing.
PTA meeting.
Meet the teacher. Yeah, that's what they did. God, we're so old. They went to meet the teacher, and then they left and went to a lifestyle club, and lo and behold, the teacher was in the room fucking somebody that they were laying next to, and she was just like, oh, hi, Miss So-and-so.
But was the teacher hot?
Of course.
So I know I've had one of my son's high school teachers, I would have slept with her in a heartbeat. No bullshit.
But the matter is that it can be your student.
It can be everybody.
Your child's teacher. Yeah. And it doesn't make you a bad person.
No. Not at all.
No, that could be a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
Sexy teacher. Yes. Check.
Thank you.
So I want to ask kind of a challenging, hard question. I almost want to say it's not going to be a very popular question.
Uh-oh.
But I think it's one that a lot of people don't like to ask. So I'm going to ask it, and then I will also answer in return the same question. So since you guys have been where you're at, not just as a couple that plays, right? So how have you... Actually, let me rephrase that. What negatives in the lifestyle would you want to influence and change?
That's a good question. He's intriguing and sexy. You see that? He throws me a challenging question just to get me all flustered.
It worked, didn't it?
I would say the negative, negative moments in the lifestyle. What are your thoughts? What are you saying? What's coming at you? Because I've had so many positive. I don't know.
So just negative things we've experienced in the lifestyle?
Well, like what would you want to change? If a negative connotation.
Well, as the certain things, especially like with influencers that we see in the lifestyle, is that I think women are more seen as objects in events. I'd like to see that kind of changed. Because my idea of the lifestyle specifically for women is that the women were always in charge. And and the men were kind of just lucky to be there. And I feel like some of the influencers are taken advantage of just because they're public figures. Or
maybe any women. So maybe it would be more of an education on consent in general, just with any person. And that could be for a man too. I know we all kind of put women into one funnel for that, but I have also seen women go up and grab men that were not expecting it, and that may not be okay either. So the consent goes both directions. It can't just be, oh, it's biased just toward women, or just we're the queens of the whole event. And to some degree, women do have a lot of authority in some of these events, but we're not removed from that requirement.
And I think the biggest thing for me is a lot of stuff I see is people in the lifestyle community combating each other. And I don't think anybody should be combating each other. I mean, we're a community that, I mean, technically people could get fired for being a swinger, but you can't get fired for cheating. So as a community, we need to eventually band together to where people take what we do more seriously and maybe more understandingly. So
everybody comes from a different direction and has their own kink, and just because you don't agree with it or don't understand it doesn't mean you should rain on somebody else's parade or be dramatic about it. So
sure. So I know that I can't talk too much to it just yet, just because I don't want to. It hasn't been confirmed 100%, but through the National Coalition of Sexual Health, I found an attorney that is actually trying to battle and make the lifestyle a qualified sexual orientation. And I know that us as a company, we are going to jump on board with her and help in any way, shape, or form that we can. And I know she's kind of waiting on this whole COVID nonsense to relax. That way she can really generate movement around it. But I actually really liked something you said, both of you actually. We have a lot of conversations with couples where a lot of the men come to me and they're like, okay, so I should let my wife decide everything and she leads everything because that's what everyone else does. And I stop them in their tracks and I tell them, well, if that's what you're comfortable with and that's what you guys have discussed and you're okay with, then sure. But I can tell you that Stephanie and I do not hold that dynamic. Our dynamic is very equal across the board. She holds no more power than I do and vice versa. The number one rule that we have, well, the two rules we have is we will always communicate and be honest with each other, no matter what, even if it hits each other's feelings. And we will always back each other's play. So if she meets somebody and is just daunting over him or her, and for some reason I get a bad vibe and I go, hey, babe, there's something about this I'm uncomfortable with, then we genocide that.
We walk away.
And we talk about it later, but that's it. My wife doesn't get the overall say-so. Us as a team, we collaborate together and make that decision together. So I really like that you pointed that out, because I know that, and this is not the popular opinion right now, but I would really like to see that change in lifestyle. I would really like to see equal decision-making, equal play for everyone around, because it takes two to tango, right? And it takes four to have a good time. I mean, it's just, that's kind of how, I see it. So I'm really glad that you said that and put that out there.
I think for me, I am really big on communication and consent. And like Andy said, I mean, men deserve to be asked too. Can I smack your ass?
That older woman at the meet and greet. I had an older woman at our last meet and greet just walk up and start unbuttoning my shirt, and I was like, whoa. I'm sorry. I didn't introduce herself, nothing. I didn't know who she was, her name. I didn't even know she was part of the meet and greet.
It's okay. You were just a piece of meat.
It's
all right.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I use you for, right?
I know. I know what I'm here for.
Let you know.
Do you guys have any events coming up? I saw that. So, as influencers, and I know you love that term, Dave, what are some things that you want others to walk away from when they are going onto your DDN site? Like when they leave there, what do you want them to leave with, other than dates and dicks and vaginas and...
communication with other individuals that share similar interests. I mean, I want them to be able to talk to other people who have had this similar sexual interest and, have an ability to walk through it. Like when we first got into it, if we had somebody to talk to on the sites that we felt comfortable with, it would have made things easier. So I think that would be the best thing, is knowing that the lifestyle is a very happy place. People will talk to you. If you have questions, just ask.
Well, and then Double Date Nation offers a place to congregate and a safe place.
Right.
So that's our goal.
Yeah, and I think that's, I think that's going to be really important. I think this whole COVID shutdown nonsense has really brought awareness to websites and what they can and can't do and how they can connect people. So I think the more, what's the term I'm looking for?
Cohesive?
Yeah, the more cohesive you can bring, but the more objects of affection people can feel through that site and make it personal to them, right? Then the more, I guess, tantalizing and, educating, even though it's a boring word, the more educated they walk away from. And I think it builds not only does it build a better quality site, but it builds a better quality lifestyle overall.
Yeah, the entire experience.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's an experience. And I love that phrase. When you go on a date, it's an experience. And I want to make sure that people understand that you may not have sex, and that's fine. Enjoy the experience. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Did you wish you would have discussed this, that, whatever? But have fun.
Yeah.
The world's going to kick our ass anyway, and it kicks our ass every day. So why not just have an experience that's new, tantalizing, sexy?
Well, it's almost like the idea of the lifestyle doesn't have to mean sex. What it should mean is camaraderie. That's what it really should mean. I know the majority of times when we go places, that is our goal. Whether it's a lifestyle event, a professional mental health event, a skydiving event, the event in itself is fun and entertaining to us, and we can always take something away from it. But for the most part, what Stephanie and I target is that camaraderie and connecting with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely what you can find.
Yeah.
So not to put you on the spot, either one of you, but when are we going to get you two up in an airplane, jumping out of one with us and putting it on video for everyone to watch?
Well, once you club me over the head, knock me completely out, and then you can strap me to your back and jump out of the plane.
So you don't want to be strapped to my back because then our parachute won't open.
Oh, that would be a problem. So I'll just be strapped to the front.
You definitely want to be strapped to the front.
And trust me,
I get consent first.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be strapped to the front.
Dave, what about you?
I don't know. I probably could do it mentally, but my wife would like to probably murder me if I did it. So
it would kind of be done for you if your shoe didn't open.
Well, when I was younger, I talked about going skydiving. I was 17 at the time. And the only thing my dad said to me was, if anything happens to you, insurance won't cover it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like,
well, it will now. Yeah, it will nowadays. So what if I told you that skydiving now with a professional instructor is safer than driving your car?
It may be.
And that's not an opinion.
Drive?
I haven't seen you drive.
Well, you would know that's very true.
I loved the look that Dave gave her. We have them on video chat.
That was a confirmation look.
That was the look like, oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
You did not know what you were comparing there.
No, I didn't. Well, I tried. It didn't work. Next time we see you guys in person, I will have a better pitch. For sure.
All right, we'll take it.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, we know life has thrown us for a ringer. We know it's been kind of tossing you guys around a little bit. It's been very challenging, I think, for everybody. When do we get to see you next? And I don't mean on a Zoom call. Like, when do we get to hang out and just have boonfoolery as unresponsible adults that are still, I guess, a little bit responsible?
I say, hey, you guys get a house, we'll throw you a housewarming party.
Oh.
We'll come to you.
I like that. We can do that. Yeah, we can definitely.
I mean, my hot tub confessions with Andi. I'm ready for.
You will not let this hot tub thing
because
go.
I bought paper that's waterproof. I was so excited.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
No, you really did?
No, I really did. It's in my truck.
She's manifesting her future. That's what she's doing. If you already have the paper that's waterproof, you have to provide.
I have the waterproof paper so I can do the interview.
So that was going to be your pitch, we weren't going to, but now we have to because I went out and bought this, and we got to test it out.
Yeah, I needed to see.
That probably would have worked too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of us would have probably let's see this waterproof paper.
Wait, I have a question. Dave, don't you have the bathing suits clog the filter of your hot tub or something rule? Or
Absolutely. I don't allow bathing suits in my hot tub at all.
Yeah, it messes up that filter.
It's really bad for the chemicals in there. So I like to keep the pH just right, which requires all individuals to be naked.
It's for your health.
I got it. Okay.
See, care about you.
They're very health conscious and care about their friends type individuals.
This has been so much fun. Thank you guys for taking some time to just visit with us.
Well, and we're the lucky ones because everyone gets to listen while we get to look at you through our Zoom call.
I know.
Yeah.
So, I'm back at you.
I almost think next time we do this, we need to turn it into a combination podcast and show. So we purchased the rights on YouTube to literally let it go for like an hour or so. So I wonder if that would work out and people would like that.
I don't know.
They could. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can do it live. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And so when we get the new house, we should do that because doing it in the office is probably a no-go because we have a lot of HIPAA compliant stuff in here, and God forbid the camera even saw someone's first name. I wouldn't even want.
Well, I mean, there's nothing in this office, but
no, it's all.
Yeah.
I put everything up, but yeah, just we'll figure that part out.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
See, we have so much more planned.
I like it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having us too.
Absolutely.
No, for sure, we appreciate it. All right, guys, well, we're gonna say goodnight and finish up the show, and we'll let you know as soon as we purchase our house because now I expect a housewarming party. So I expect.
I mean. I don't want gifts. I just want you.
To your standard.
Right. and I just have a request. Please wear your glasses.
See?
Yes.
See? Look, I have told her forever. She's always like, glasses or no? And I'm like, oh, no, definitely always glasses.
No, definitely glasses, especially the post you did on the selfie wall with your glasses.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No.
See? It doesn't count if it comes from me, but if Dave says it, now it's locked in.
It's locked in. Locked and loaded.
I owe you, Dave. Thank you, because she challenges me all the time.
I just like to be able to see.
And you should. So you need to wear them.
But you don't need to see for certain actions.
No, you don't. No.
But put them on anyway.
I will put them on anyway. Yeah.
All right, guys. You have a wonderful night, and we appreciate your time.
Have a good night.
Good night. Hey, Fox.
Not again.
Why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Oh. So you can find us on the Bookface.
Facebook.
Yeah, that thing. At the Kinky Coach. Or you can find us at any of the adult beverage websites. You like that?
I do, yeah.
Yes, because you're tasty. You're thirsty. Yeah.
Yes, thirsty.
So you can look for either Luna_and_Logan, or you can look for the Kinky Coach and her Silver Fox. Yep.
So thank you for listening, and we hope you have a very sexy evening.
Have a good night.
You are listening to the Kinky Coach podcast with Stephanie
and Fox.